science, would you consider having an internship in an undergraduate year as a great start into being a graduate student?
Um, yeah, so I think any professional experience you have is important because a lot of the things you study in political science, they're fascinating, but they're also very theoretical and not always directly related to reality. And so any experience you have in the professional or policy world to see how things actually work, to see how things work on a day-to-day basis, to see how people are actually making decisions, to see how structures are actually constraining agents is a really important perspective to come into political science with, because there's a lot of assumptions about how things work that may or may not actually be true. And if you have actually been in a company or in a think tank or in government or in the military or in an NGO, and you can actually understand how that process works from the ground up, then it gives you a much better tools to be able to theorize and to write about kind of how those organizations operate and why we see the kinds of political effects we see, as opposed to kind of making things up and finding a little bit of evidence that maybe supports it or maybe doesn't. But I think if you start from the political world and then move up to the theoretical, then that can be a really useful direction to take.
So I like that you say moving up to the theoretical world, like it's above. I think that's fun. But I also think what I would say would be to stress the things that Scott is mentioning in an application. So it's not just that you know, interned with your congressman and learned about constituency service and, you know, you worked your butt off. It's also, oh, I learned that my congressman has to interact with his constituents in order to, maintain his name recognition and to maintain, the connection he has with his constituents. And, why is it important for a congressman to do these things? These are the kinds of questions I'm interested in as a result of having this internship or having this experience. So I think it's not only having the experience, but being able to articulate it in an application or to convey that excitement that you have for moving up to the theoretical world as a result of that experience.